Hello, and welcome to another episode of Devilian's Rapid Accessibility Review series. My name is Biggs, and in this series I rapidly review the accessibility of random websites. Why rapid accessibility review, you might ask? Accessibility reviews or audits usually take a long time. I wanted to expose the process and tools somehow, but recording hours of reviewing is impractical. I also wanted to find a way to practice reviewing accessibility without spending hours and hours on the same website. So a short form made sense, and that's how the rapid accessibility reviews came about. So the website that I'm going to review is called Olleco. And this site is built with Sitefinity. I think that's what it's called, the CMS. I haven't reviewed a website with that CMS, so I'm curious to see how that does. Let's just dive in. The first thing we're going to look at is a page title. So what do we have? Cooking oil collection. Right, so those three dots means it's a bit longer. Let's just have a quick look to see the full page title. Should be in the head. There we go. Cooking oil collection, food waste recycling across the UK. Olleco. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good title, I believe. Next thing, let's have a look at headings. So we'll view the document outline and see the headings for the page. Okay, we got a single heading 1. That's good. Missing a heading 2 here and then sort of nested down. Yeah, I'd say that's okay. That's pretty cool. So now let's have a quick look at links, the text in the links, to see if that's understandable. We got about. Yeah, I wonder whether about could benefit from about Olleco, possibly. Although coming on the site, you'd probably know where you are. But anyway, depot contact, news, login, cooking oils. Okay. Contact us, get a quote, request a callback. Cooking oils. Okay, these are not links. Actually, let's just. Oh no, let's leave it open. Learn more, learn more, learn more. Okay, let's have a look here. Learn more about cooking oils. That would be a good title for that button. So a hidden text having about cooking oils would be useful, and for all of these learn more buttons, so that they can stand on their own and without the surrounding context. Let's keep on going down. These are not links. Discover more. Discover more about what? That would be also a good one to add on to a little bit more. So I presume this refers to this here. So that would be good to add some hidden text in there. Latest news. Read more. Read more about what? Read more about new trade body for sustainable renewable transport fuels. That's kind of what that is. We can add a little bit more context to those links. Let's keep on going down. Sign up. Okay. Okay, contact us. Let's have a look at these social icons and see if there's any. These are just some SVGs. And this here is the link itself. Let's close this span. Okay, so that's missing some text as well to describe where that link will take you. It doesn't really. Well, it does have Facebook there inside the inside the span. Okay, I think that'll do. That should be read out probably as Facebook. Let's just check out the next one. SVG, Twitter, yeah. That's fine. That's good, the text is there. Terms and conditions. Okay, that's fine. So let's check. Let's then check to see how the site does without any styles. Let's get the site a bit naked. And we have a logo at the top and the nav. We got the search. That's just like the... Okay. And then we have slides right there. Okay, slide 4 of 3. That's interesting. Okay, well, I'd say that on the surface, this is quite nice. Not sure what this is here. Royal warrant. Yeah, I'd say it looks pretty good. Yeah, that's fine. Let's get the styles back in. And let's have a look at images, audio, and video. Let's start with images. Let's have a look at all the images that are background images, which are just sort of supportive images for the content. Okay, so these are the images for those sliders. Although I can see that those sliders themselves... Okay, so this is just sort of supportive imagery. It doesn't really... It's only the image that changes, not the call to action or any of the sort of main... Okay. Well, let's carry on removing the background images. Those are background images here, which just don't really need to be described. Let's keep on going. We've got some logos in here. Are there any background images here? There's something down here. This is just sort of supporting those news items there. I'd argue maybe that this RTFA might be helpful for this particular item here, but let's keep on going. Okay. Right, let's see alt attributes for the images that are on the page. There's not many images, to be fair. Okay, Olleco, alright. Anywhere. Okay, these logos have got their alt text. That's useful. And good. This one as well, royal warrant. Okay. I think that's fine. Yeah, I think that's fine. So let's bring the images back and get rid of this. So there's no video, no audio. So let's move to keyboard. Let's start at the top and start tabbing through. I'll just tab now. I think I'm on the logo. About us. I can see down there where the link is going. Okay, so I don't seem to have any focus indicators at all. So I don't actually know where I am. So I need to solve that quickly with a little trick. I've got some styles here, custom styles that I can force the website to show me some focus indicators so that I know where I'm at. So there we go. Now I've got the Olleco logo there highlighted, and then I go to About, Depot Contact, News Login, and then I'm on the search. And I don't know where I am right now. Okay, now I'm on cooking oils. Actually, I think this is probably the search, the submit button for the search, which just doesn't seem to be highlighted. So, okay, cooking oils, and now I'm on that second one. Okay, so it jumps over. It just does the first level one. So if I would like to try to access those sub-navigation links in there, let's see if I press enter, what happens. Okay, so that takes me to that page, which is not what I really want. I would like to see, I'm pressing down. No. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be a way with keyboard to actually come into those sub-navigation links, which is a shame. But let's carry on. So I think I'm going to get a quote now. No, I can see I'm down here on the navigation element there, which is interesting. Oops, wait. Okay, so the control here for the slider, which is only for the images themselves, I think it looks like it's only the one that is highlighted, which seems to be kind of selectable. So I can't actually choose a different image and then go over there. But I argue that I don't think those sort of image fade-ins and fade-outs, I don't really think that needs any kind of controller. I'm not sure that's really all that useful, to be fair. And I'd suggest completely taking away any kind of focus state on that. So get that out of the tab. So if I'm going here, I get a quote request, and then I go to these links down here. I think I'm on food buy right now. I think I'm on that link down there. Okay, so for some reason, of those 5 logos, only the food buy seems to be selectable. So if I come off that, there's nothing that tells me that that one is actually clickable. So, maybe make them all clickable or none of them clickable. But anyway, we're focusing on the keyboard now. Discover more. All right, so now we get to there. So that image is now clickable. Read more. Yes, okay. So considering the fact that this is not an image but a background image, which means that it does not have any alternate text, and then that is a link, I'm not sure that that actually tells us anything about where it's going. So I now land on this link here, which is taking me to the article, but there's nothing in that link that tells me where it goes. So that's really missing. So either, probably just make this, let's not make this clickable, this image up here, and then just have maybe this title to be the one that's clickable, because that's really what you want to be reading about. I mean, just looking at this image, for instance, just of the truck, you wouldn't really click on that and thinking that you know where you're going. So this is the important bit. Read more is fine as long as it describes the title as well. But let's do and just to see sort of how the keyboard functions. So I'm now in that sign up form. It just jumps between, and I go to sign up there, and then I go over to those links over there, and then those social icons, and then those footer links. Okay. Okay, so that's interesting. I can see now that I've just been taken to cooking oils up there. This is like a fixed nav that kind of follows you down. So that may be a kind of in a different place in the tabbing order. Okay. So all in all, there's no skip content link on this website, so on this page. So I can't really jump over the nav if I'd like to. So skip content link would be really useful. There's no focus states at all, which is missing. The tab ordering in general was fine. There's no surprises there. And I haven't really, there's nothing really to open and close or anything like that. So interactions are fine. Okay, now let's get to the forms. All right, so does this have this search functionality, does it have a label associated with that? It's got a legend, but there is no label, and yeah, this is gonna be tricky coming into that with any assistive text, screen read and such. So nothing really tells you that it's a search button. And if we look at that button is just right here. The value is search, so that might be read out. But I mean, the input itself really needs a label to associate with that so that we can understand what that is doing. Let's just get straight down to the form down here, and let's have a look to see whether there are any labels associated with those. There is a label here, which is just right there, visible above the form. That's 4, and then the ID text box 1. Okay, cool. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. Text box 2, the label is there. Text box 2, fine. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. What about error messages? If I do some, well, I could put anything in here. What about the business email if I just do some nonsense? And I sign up. Okay. First name field input is required. Email address is invalid. Okay. It describes what is needed, and that is fine. It's a bit small and maybe a bit hard to read, but let's not worry about that. Okay, so that's sort of the form very briefly checked. Let's just check something. Let me see if I press enter. I just want to see if the keyboard works okay with these guys. So if I type something in here and I press enter, okay, there seems to be some search results here. I'm not sure what this major massive green thing in there, but okay, so that's searching for something. And I'm assuming that if I go into here, type something in, and here, if I do sign up, yeah, complains about the email. Okay, that's cool. So it functions with the keyboard. That's good to know. Right, let's switch to responsive. Let's see how the site does on the responsive side of things. Oops, let's get to the big first. Okay, let's just go straight down. I'm assuming that not much is going to happen. Text gets a bit smaller. Well, it's kind of bouncing about. Let's get to like... Okay, so that's where it breaks down into the mobile version. Okay, so decent amount of layout changes here. Single columns. Big logos, single column, forms, okay. Right, on the surface looks fine. Let's go all the way down to like 300, let's say 400, 370. Okay. Alright, single column. It's just the way it was before, really. Don't see anything wrong with any of this. This text down here is quite small down there, but yeah, it's really small text. Okay, let's have a look at the nav to see how that functions. Okay, so I go into there. So if I click on this, I'll be taken to a page. So if I go back home, I open this up again. I'll probably need to do that to open up the subnet, yeah. And then, yeah. Okay, fine. Responsiveness, perfectly fine. Let's close this one, close this, and then we'll check the magnification. So let's zoom into 400 and see how the site manages that. So we get to the mobile styles. Okay, I'm assuming that it'll all be quite similar to the mobile version that we just watched, that we just saw earlier. All single columns. That's the form. Okay, fine. Let's get to the top and let's see how the keyboard functions up here. So if I tab, I go straight into about. So that's actually interesting because in the desktop version it went straight to the logo first. So that's handling that decently. Now we get into, okay, so I just got straight to get a quote to learn more. Hold on a minute, let me just see. So if I start from way up here, about, oops, okay, so, okay. Alright, I think the first element is Olleco there, so yeah, I'm outside now. So I'm on, okay, down about depot. Okay, so it's just bypassing completely the nav, so you can't really access the nav with keyboard on when you have it magnified. Okay, now we know. Let's go back to normal zoom and let's move over to color contrast, I believe. Yes, color contrast. Let's check that out. So what we'll do, fix this. Okay, let's have, let's look at it through let's use Axe DevTools and we'll scan the page and we will look at color contrast right there, 21 issues, and we'll highlight what it's finding. So it's finding those top links. I'm not quite sure. I don't think that this gray text here has that bad contrast ratio. So I mean that green on white is a different thing, but it doesn't look like it's actually commenting on that. But let's okay, here it's saying that the color is that one and the background color is white. So I'm not sure what the color is. Let's keep on going. Let's see what it says here. So now that's complaining about that white on the green. And I was pretty sure when I saw this that would be a big concern. That contrast is very, very low. So it really needs to be upped. Either, yeah, that green needs to be much, much darker for the contrast to be okay. Let's just keep on going. It's probably going to go through the whole thing there. Yeah. And, well, this is a very, very big text there, but still, that green, that light green on white is also very, very low contrast. So it's going to complain about all of those. That one as well, absolutely. And this one with that background, that white down here. Okay, so it's saying that that's somewhat serious contrast there. That could be looked at, I guess. So, right, so I'm just going to close the Axe DevTools and I'm just going to do a quick looking at this myself. It's interesting that there's actually a darker text here on the green, and then there's white text, and then it kind of switches between. So you'd be lucky if you can use light and dark on the same color. It tends to be either one. So so the contrast here could really be looked at. I'm not sure if anything else. That's really the big one, I think, for the color contrast. So let's just move on. The next one would be animations like sliders and such, and there isn't really anything like that. This is just like like an image fade in, fade out thing. It's not really a slider, so I don't think that's anything to be concerned with. And there aren't any, so we'll just carry on. The next one would be HTML to see if there's any HTML issues. So let's validate that. We're taking over to the W3 validator, and let's open this up here. And this tells us that there are 17 errors in the HTML that needs to be fixed if the HTML is valid. There is a sort of very briefly, there seems to be an image missing a source attribute, some duplicate IDs potentially, and then a style element inside a form. Yeah, they just need to be looked at individually and see if they can be addressed. The very last thing is to see whether the site is showing any JavaScript errors or any problems on load. So on the surface, doesn't really show anything there, which is good. Okay, so that's the end of the review. Yeah, so thank you very much for watching. If you liked this video, please consider subscribing to our channel. I'll be doing many more of these reviews in the future. And if you work for Olleco and you think you could use our services, please get in touch. We'd love to work with you. Now have a lovely rest of the day and take good care of yourself. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.